Well, welcome back everyone to Sugar Pine Zoo. I know we are all up in arms about Tiergarten, but listen, that'll come back soon enough. I just really wanted to get a final tour of Sugar Pine done with all of you guys. Of course, this is before like all the final updates, like the final updates that I want to get done. But for the time being, I really do just want to stop, take a minute, and go through everything with you guys. I know you guys are probably loving the Europe pack and like want to see all the European animals, but as a way to finally set Sugar Pine out to pasture, I just want to take a minute with you guys and walk through it. So listen, grab a drink. I got my little cider with me, and I can't wait to see everything that this pack has to bring with all of you guys here. Now, of course, walking right out into this beautiful plaza, this is obviously a congestion issue, but with that being said, what isn't a congestion issue when it comes to the black and white-tailed prairie dog? Well, it's just a black-tailed prairie dog. But these guys were the first exhibit that we built for, and I really still do love how I was able to handle their habitat. Obviously, burrows are a thing now, and the prairie dogs aren't actually able to use them, but I think it'd be really cool if they got that like implemented within their code within the future. But still, with all that being said, I really do love these dual habitats. These guys are still the coolest little creatures around. I love watching them do their little thing and watching them go in their little tunnels and stuff. It's still so cute. Now, if you guys are new here, welcome to Sugar Pine. I haven't really been welcoming too many people and explaining what we're doing here, but this is our North American zoo based along like North American wildlife, and it came out right when the North America pack came out. So just getting all these guys in here was an absolute must. And speaking of must, we're gonna go check out the musk. When I say musk, I mean muskrat, and when I say muskrat, I mean the beaver. So this is something over here, just our first view into the beavers. We're actually going to check them out in a little bit, but they have all their holding back there, so we're just going to ignore that. I'm not really the biggest fan of holding, but look at them go. Oh my gosh, the beavers are probably one of my favorite animals in the game. They're so adorable. That's one lion signs right there, just very simple, but these guys have a lot of awesome area to move around their habitat in, and they have underwater viewing right there, which we will get to in just a little bit, but they have a little bit of a waterfall right down there. Beavers don't really like waterfalls in their habitats. They actually tend to block them up because that's their natural instinct. But listen, this is Sugar Pine Zoo. We have an entrance that looks like this, and it leads right into like a prairie dog colony. I think we can take all the liberties we can in here. And in case if you guys don't know how this works, these are actually both the same habitat, both this enclosure as well as this one. So if we pop down right in here, we can actually see that they have this little area to kind of go down into. And it's kind of a shabby little entrance, but with that being said, they can go right down into there. And they have that little highway tunnel right through there. We can actually see a few ones that are just standing there, minding their own business, but it's totally fine. I'll actually pop out of Tedcam really quickly, then pop back in so we could actually check out what we have over here. Now, the sea lions were absolutely number one on my list, especially for the meta wish list. By the way, if you guys don't already know, you guys can add 5 more animals to your meta wish list since, you know, so many of our wishes got granted. That'd be a really awesome thing for you guys to do. But this is our little sea lion exhibit, and I really wanted to base it off of like harbors, kind of like New York and California harbors basically, and I think it came out extremely awesome in the end. I love the bridge that they have right across our little habitat right there. I think it came out pretty neat, and they have a lot of awesome enrichment as well for them to stay nice and satisfied in here. Even like back there, I love the decorations back there. Even though they wouldn't be able to actually access all that, it's totally fine, like just to have these beautiful little decorated areas, and it just carries on throughout the entire zoo. So that's really cool, and they also have this little island as well. I think it came out pretty neat. And we should probably talk about Chuck's over here. So this is Chuck's Drinks and Food, and this is just a little bit of an outdoor marketplace. Hopefully soon we could actually integrate this within the restaurant system. That'd be really awesome to have. But this is just a little quick service restaurant that you'd come into. You can order your drink, order your food. I love how these are made with like the mulch. Oh my gosh, that actually came out really awesome. But you can just pay for your food right there, then pop right over here, take a little break, and just stay under a really nice, beautiful trellis. I think these are really awesome. I think these are actually by Andrew Wyatt. So if you guys don't know who Andrew Wyatt is, he's a wonderful little creator. Definitely go check him out on his channel. But what we have over here is a little bit of a splash pad kind of mixed in with some underwater viewing. And this is something I integrated before. If you guys have seen my one-off platypus habitat speed build, this is like exactly what I have going on right over there. But this is essentially just a little place for the kids to go and check out the little beavers. And I think it's really cool just to be on like a water level with them and see them do their little water thing. Look at them go. Of course, I need a little bit of time to drink my little drinky drink. But of course, I have ZZ's wonderful little beaver dam pieces right over there. And I have the little jets over here just in case if it is a hot day and the kids need a cool off or something. Now, with all things considered, we are coming up to a fork in the road. We can actually take our choice of going to the left or going to the right. Otherwise, you know, whatever, I mixed that up. It's totally fine. But right over here, I just want to show off this quick little view. This is our little canoe pool. If you could imagine, you could come to the zoo on a really nice day and you could rent out some canoes to take out onto this little pond, and you can actually see maybe your family sitting in that little wolf den over there. But for the time being, we're actually going to continue on this way with the rest of the harbor. And if you can kind of hear it, I did integrate some of the speakers within the game to play some of the North America music, and it actually came out really good. It really does help to sell the vibes. Now over here we actually have the Pinniped Cove, and we actually have a beautiful centerpiece right here. We have the sea lion right on top, and we have the seals coming down right below. This is easily like my favorite view in like the entire zoo, just right here. It's always so cool to see. But moving on through here, we have a lot of awesome areas to check out. We have one for the sea lions right down here, and it's always so cool to see them like chilling in this area specifically. I love their animations. They came out extremely well. Just seeing them do their own thing, it's really cool. But on the other side, we actually have our other friends. In place of harbor seals, we actually have gray seals. And while gray seals aren't really my favorite, it still is cool to see them, but they tend to stay on the surface a little bit more. So we'll actually pop over there. There's a little seating area for all your guests and whatnot. But continuing on over here, there's a little view into the moose habitat. We're actually going to skip that right now. Here's a guy doing his own thing, but we're actually going to check out this habitat from above. And yeah, it's just another continuation of the sea lion exhibit, but for seals this time around. And I love their little shaded area right there. Again, Andrew Wyatt's beams came out amazing. But yeah, they just tend to swim. It's kind of based off of Roger Williams' Bubba exhibit for our harbor seal. Very loosely, extremely loosely actually, but I really do love the variation that these guys have. I love seeing them all together. It's really cool. But moving on through here, we actually have our first entrance into the greater North America area. Yes, we have a little bit of a covered bridge. The original idea was to have this be a gift shop, but I didn't really get the time to actually solidify that. But we got some really cool views in here nonetheless. We can check this out right down here. Our first view of the moose exhibit, and seeing these guys in here, it's so freaking cool. They have such amazing area to kind of like roam around and check out their own things, and I just really like it. So moving on through here, we can check out the moose a little bit later. I'm sure we get some other views into there, but we have our another fork in the road actually. So we're actually just going to pop into the American Waters exhibit. This is just a quick little one-off exhibit that I did for the American bullfrog, and I actually threw a bunch of different animals in here as well. So we're going to pop right in here. And here we go. I'm actually going to turn it to nighttime, so if I pop out a Tegid cam and we turn this all to night, we can actually get the full experience in here. So coming in here, we got this beautiful view, and I wanted to have the effect that you were underwater, So I do integrate some of the lily pads up there. They kind of dangle down a little bit. I have these sconces and lights that really do help sell the color and vibes in here. But starting off, we actually do have the diamondback terrapin exhibit. And these guys, oh my gosh, they're still one of my favorite exhibit animals. They're so cute. I love them. But moving on through here, we have a lot of awesome other things as well. I integrated some billboards in here so you could see the koi ponds. I really did want to emphasize like fish and stuff in here so we can have like a little educational experience over here about releasing non-native fish into native waters. That'd be something that I would like to add if I had the chance to, but I don't really. But we also have our glimpse into the frog exhibit as well, and I think this kind of got glitched out. I'm not sure what happened with this. I think it may actually be a result to the early beta for the Europe pack, so I'll try and get that fixed up with the lovely CMs as soon as possible. But yeah, normally you would have an island right in the middle of here with the bullfrogs. No, I just really do like these guys. I was really happy when we got these guys as DLC because I always love seeing amphibians as like DLC animals. They're some of my favorite animals too, so it's really cool as well. And you got another view of the terrapins as well right here. And of course, over here we have a little bit of a mallard duck exhibit. Nothing too crazy. I did want to get some waterfowl in here. I think these are by Mealy, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I just really want to get some ducks in there. You could probably imagine they would walk around this entire area, but this is pretty much their home. They have a nice little heating lamp right there, so they're fine. Some more billboards as well, just getting some more aquarium tanks. What I really do emphasize is that the stock like aquarium game footage really does work for instances like this, where it's like you really want to get like this really kind of video game kind of feel, and it really does help to sell like the entire experience altogether, because if you get like hyper realistic fish, it doesn't really work all that well. And coming on through here, we have a lot more of the boardwalk coming, leading you on into the rest of the exhibit. And I have some lesser Antillean iguanas because they are an island species. I really did want to highlight them and talk about like how both water can bring animals in as well as exclude animals from the rest of the land. And the lesser Antillean iguana, though it's not really common in zoos, I think it's a really, really awesome addition in Sugar Pine as well. Plus they're North American, so it makes sense. I also have one more big fish tank right over here that, you know, it'd probably have like paddlefish or gar or something. It's big enough to hold those species, so I think that's neat. Now moving on through here, I will turn it to be daytime because I love it when it's day. And if we pop back down into first person mode, we can actually come over to our little carnivore row. And this is actually where we got started with some of my favorite creatures over here. We get started off with the grizzly bears at first, so we have this little entrance area. And you get to see this beautiful, beautiful waterfall right over there with a bit of a ditch right in between. So I do have like these separated glass panels. In case if you don't know, there is a way to kind of get like these null panel kind of area effect, I don't really know, by dragging the posts onto a null post, and you can kind of make that work kind of like that. But with that being said, we do have the grizzlies in here. It seems like they're not too active right now, but just their habitat alone was really fun to make, especially this little viewing gallery. I'm actually going to pop out of here just so you guys can kind of see it from over here. We do have a little bit of a dry canyon in here as a way to separate the animals from the actual guests. And I'm just trying to find the animals in here, speaking of them. And it seems like they're actually stuck inside of here, so we're actually going to bring one out and see how they interact with their exhibit. But with that being said, you have a bunch of education in here. Of course, lion signs came out absolutely amazing, and they were extremely helpful in the process of this. But yeah, look at them. They have enough room in this exhibit to really roam around. And just the cliffside of this entire exhibit came out extremely well, and it makes me so happy. Plus, I'm going to pop out here once again. They do have separation over here, so this is a cliffside, and there is water kind of barring them from escaping. So that's a really good feature to implement as well. We also have another viewing gallery over here. Nothing too crazy, just a bunch of beams on top of each other. but it really does help to give a lot more shade and a lot more effect to guests as well. Just generally making the exhibits feel a lot more welcome inside a zoo setting. And actually, I love this shot over here. So I hope you guys don't mind me popping right into Ansel. I always love doing this, especially during like tours and speed builds where you guys are like, Leaf, come on, you gotta get on with this. I'm like, no, I just want to take pictures. Isn't that what visiting zoos are for? Now, moving on through here, we have a lot more of a natural area, and we have a big old holding facility right over there. Nothing too crazy. It's not really made to be looked in, but if you guys want to check that out, the blueprint is in the description down below. I also have a little bit of a kind of garden area, kind of leading you into the next area, and we happen upon our mountain lions over here. Yes, the beautiful North American cougar. Just, you know, a little bit of a sip right there. But I love this exhibit right here. I have these climb-proof fences over here as well, integrating like that steel mesh fence, along with the kind of template that we kind of came up with before, as well as this beautiful looking in area. Obviously, you wouldn't really walk up here. It's really supposed to be viewed from right back here, but you can kind of see one of our cougars swimming right there. She seems to be doing her best. And look at this sign. I love it. Oh no, I really do love the art style of the North America pack. It came out extremely well. But here is the main viewing area for the cougars. I want to have this beautiful modern kind of area for guests to kind of sit in, to guests kind of chill in, and for them to check out the cougars in. I guess that makes sense. But I have this kind of like abandoned mine area kind of feel to it, and it plays in extremely well with the polar bear exhibit now that I think about it. But this is like the old mine tracks, and the cougars can walk on top of that. They can traverse all of that just perfectly. I'll actually bring them out right up here to the glass, so we can see them up close, and yeah, appreciate them a lot more. But yeah, they're a lot smaller than I imagined them to be, but it's still really cool to see them up close like this. But moving on from here, we have a lot of other awesome things to check out. We also have this tiny little area right here. We have Old Faithful right there. I just want to give a little bit of an homage to the Yosemite and Yellowstone and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool to integrate that as a water source right there. But over here we have our first little view into one of the bigger paddocks in our entire zoo. This is the bison exhibit along with pronghorns, and these actually are a lot farther apart than I would initially want them to be. So I think I may actually double up the fencing later down the line, but we can see some of our pronghorn right there. Easily one of my favorite animals. Did you guys know, despite being called antelopes, these guys are actually closely related to giraffes more than antelopes? I thought that's pretty neat. But we also have bison right down there, so that's really cool. We'll see them a lot better from up there as well, so we'll actually pop right over there just for a little peek, because we're going to end it in the Arctic section. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But you can see a beautiful vista right over here, and get some nice little hints into the next area right down there. So this is just a nice little shortcut for guests to kind of take this walkthrough area, but it's also a really amazing area to start to see like what comes up there in the future. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful area to boot. I love seeing this. It's a very much naturalistic habitat. I don't like doing big areas like this. You guys know how much I love my theming, so this was a little bit out of the ordinary for me. But it was still really awesome to have. But this is probably one of my favorite habitats in here. This is the alligator exhibit. And I just love how like kind of big this exhibit feels. Even though it's not really the biggest exhibit in here, there's a little bit of an eating area for your guests right down there. But right over here, we have this beautiful, beautiful viewing canopy into an underwater viewing. And this is, of course, named after Beyond Wolf Nature Preserve. This is Beyond Wolf Alligator Farm. They graciously donated all these wonderful alligators to us, and it came out extremely well. I really do love how well these guys came out, especially in terms of like, you know, just the texture and the style of them. Frontier knocked it out of the park with the alligators specifically. But I love this area too, because, I don't know, you can really appreciate it a lot more from above, because it just has all this beautiful trash on top of it and all the theming. It came out extremely well. But we're just going to pop right over here to our viewing area. And you can see a lot more of that trash kind of like strewn about right over there. But one of the things we did actually do in here was a bit of a backstage. So this is something I never do. Please don't get used to this, guys. I want to have an alligator backstage area. And these are just generally holding pools for the alligators to kind of stay in. And we can actually see one of the mama gators right over here, just minding her own business. And you have a bunch of freezers and stuff for meat and whatnot inside over there. And it's just a nice place for staff to kind of come and do their job because, hey, we don't pay them to do nothing around here. So popping out over here as well, we are coming over to our most recent addition. We're just going to like speed up through this entire thing. We have the Arctic caps, or whatever we named it. I honestly forget because I'm recording this right after the voiceover for this area. But this is our beautiful little mining town. This was all Bold's idea to integrate a little bit of a gold panning area for kind of kids to interact with and kind of, you know, pan for their own gold. And this is the Greenland Plaza. That's Nuuk right there. That is the capital of Greenland. And yeah, this is the Borealis. We can definitely take a little pop right up here. We have some elevators integrated right into there, but we're just gonna walk up here because, you know, elevators aren't functional in Planet Zoo yet. But we have a lot of awesome vistas right over here to actually look at. So one of the things I did want to do for this area was integrate this kind of two habitat, kind of making it feel like one kind of thing going on. So one of the things I did kind of emphasize was the fact that we're like in the Arctic cap right now, I guess. So these lovely sunshade structures made by the wonderful Simply Savannah act as ice flows, as well as the ones by Leader right down there as well. They give it a little bit more dimension. So it really does make it feel like these habitats are part of the same, and the vistas right out there into the open, like, oh my gosh, look at that plane over there. It looks so splendid in the end. And the polar bears love to swim for some reason. I've never seen them willingly go on the land. So that's a little weird right there. We're just gonna jump right off because we own the zoo. We get to do whatever we want. And coming on through here, we get some insane vistas, especially with this beautiful cliffside. If the polar bears actually did like to go on land, we would see them kind of trotting right through these mesh fences over there, just getting a little glimpse of them as we make our way down into this polar area. But the good thing is they're usually always swimming in this area right here. So you actually do get some really, really insane views of the polar bears right here. I love how well that came out. Oh my gosh. But moving on throughout the rest of this exhibit, this is where the sign would go if I had a name for this area. I really love how I integrated my own props over here with like that whole underwater theme. It came out really, really well. So it makes it feel like you're underwater and whatnot. But carrying on through here, just like this view alone, if we pop back here, get a little bit of a FOV going on. I love this. It's just such a nice open area for, like, you know, just to chill out in and check out the real beauty of these animals, because these are really going to be the highlight of Sugar Pine Zoo. I know I love my wolf area. We'll actually get those in a little bit, but this is really insane to see, like, all of this come into play. And I know we just had this episode, so I'm just going to breeze right through the rest of this. But yeah, I don't know. I really do love the polar area. It came out amazing. Especially this area right here. It kind of feels like dead space, but that's exactly what I want, especially with those Arctic pieces right there. Listen, don't hate the Arctic pack. It's amazing. But moving on through here, we have a little bit of a different view for the polar bears. So we could pop into this little structure over here and we can actually see them on land. And we can see a little bit of a glimpse at the boat as well, just looking mighty fine and dandy. So if we pop back right over here, we have a little bit of an aviary. I gotta thank Drac for this beautiful totem pole. It came out amazing. And I gotta thank my buddy Concord Forge for providing this beautiful aviary as well. It matches the style perfectly. And oh my gosh, just getting these stellar eagles by Drac, I believe, as well. It's really awesome to have. And it is open top. I trust my eagles in here. We pay them to actually stay in this exhibit, so they're not going anywhere. But moving on through here, we're coming up on another one of my favorite areas. This is like the reindeer barn, I guess you could kind of say. You would probably see like nice big events happening in here. But when events are not happening, this is where you would go to see the reindeer and doll sheep. Now, of course, I would have preferred bighorn sheep, but the doll sheep have made their way into my heart extremely well. And seeing these guys traverse this habitat is really awesome to see as well. So it is based on an entire mountainside, and we have enough hoofstock in here to justify it being so big. Like, you're always going to see sheep or, you know, deer wherever you go. So that is something really awesome to have. I'm breezing right through this because I want to go through it this way first. This is just a little bit of an insect garden to see, so we do have some beehives over here, and we have a little bit of an insect hotel right there. Again, huge shout out to Lion for these modular sign sets. It came out amazing in the end, and oh my gosh, they're perfect. And even this insect hotel, I forgot who made it, but if you just look it up, I'm sure you guys will be able to find the amazing creator who made that. But carrying on through here, also, this is all custom. I'm just very proud of this. But carrying on through here, we get another view into the bison over here. Again, I'm probably going to double up these fences because, actually probably not these, because the bison shouldn't be able to actually get up there. But checking these guys out, they are beautiful, beautiful units, so I love them so much. But over here is where we get to the real money. This is the big old view of the doll sheep and reindeer exhibit. I really love how simple this structure came out, but it's so beautiful. Just the orange on the green, it came out excellent, and I think it really does help to sell, like, oh man, this is like a natural park kind of area. But I love the doll sheep. I know the Arctic pack gets so much hate, I keep on saying this, but it really is perfect for North American zoos, and I feel like the Europe pack really helps to validate it even more. Because we have like access to so many more European animals now that it really does help to sell like the European vibe that the pack was going for. I don't know, just a little brain vomit with Leaf. That should be a new section of my videos, why not? And we also do have another moat right here just to prevent the animals from actually traversing over here and preventing the guests from actually traversing to the animals, so that's always great to have. And now over here we have a little bit of a walkthrough, like bison sculpture yard. I thought that came out really cool, just seeing like the migration of the bison. And we have a little bit of a playground. I gotta give a huge shout out to Just Goron for the modular set for this. I love modular sets, and Goron came in so clutch with his modular slide set. It came out amazing, and these are always just must-haves when it comes to zoos. And just getting these in your zoos takes it up a whole new level, and I love seeing this like view right here. It's so colorful, and it like fits the vibes of a children's section so well. But we're continuing on through here with the Arctic fox. Yes, this is one of my favorite animals in the game now, and just seeing this came out extremely, extremely awesome. The only way to view them is via this cave, so if you're claustrophobic, please do not come in here. But I love how well this came out, and seeing these guys just walk around their habitat is amazing. It is a little bit too big for them, I will admit. That is one of my shortcomings, but I think it came out extremely well nonetheless. It's just really great to have these guys in the game. And they're adorable too. Oh. And look at them go. They're playing with the light ball right when we get there. It's amazing. Okay, we're gonna keep pushing on through. We also have this view into the kind of cafeteria area, and this is the perfect area to kind of set up a restaurant. This is the area for that. But moving on through here, you may hear like the Zoo Tycoon soundtrack. That is the Tundra theme from the Zoo Tycoon 2 game. So definitely do, like, I'll probably have like my link of billboards and music in the description down below as well, so do check that out. But here's the view into the moose habitat, and it came out extremely well. It really does help to sell just how natural this whole park, part of the park is. Sorry, need a little another drink. Wow, drink almost fought me right there. But just seeing these moose, I'm so happy that we have moose in the game. It makes me extremely happy. They're one of my favorite animals. And you got another view into the actual river itself going on right through there. And yeah, we're totally just gonna ignore the fact that the river kind of like, you know, mixes with each other, but you know what, it's fine. We're not about logic here. We are all about fun. So moving on through here, we have the rest of like the Arctic theme, I guess you could kind of say. Moving on through here, we have our Arctic wolves. And I love this habitat in particular. I'm just going to change it so the sun is shining down on these habitats because I just want to showcase them as best as I can. So if we pop back down into first person mode, check these guys out. The Arctic wolves are some of my favorite animals in the game now, especially with Gaboy's remake. Even though I don't have it installed, it still is amazing to have these guys anyways. And just checking them out, they're so freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh. So of course they have all that wonderful area to roam. We have another cave in here. I really want to integrate as many caves as possible within the Arctic area because, you know, foxes and wolves, they tend to live in dens and whatnot. So getting as many of these areas as possible is always a must for me. And speaking of that, I did want to have a lot more skylights in here. While they are caves, I want to integrate as much light into these as possible. So you get these wonderful, wonderful vistas right into the rest of the park, especially this little lake area. It looks amazing. It makes me so happy. This one too in particular. Just seeing the elevation change from right before, it turned out so good. But carrying on through here, we have another view into the Arctic wolves, which I never actually did change, but hey, we can pretend that these are for the kiddos. So hypothetically, if you were a little bit of a kid, you pop right over here and get face to face with your wolves. And it really is really awesome to see. Just, I don't know, I really did like this section. I know it probably wouldn't fly in a real zoo, but hey, this is my zoo, not a real zoo. And we also have our Alaskan timber wolves as well. They're renamed that with Natty's animal rename mod. So they're renamed to their appropriate subspecies. And with Gaboy's remake, which I don't have installed right now, it really does bring these animals to be a lot more beautiful than, you know, Frontier really gave them credit to be. But they have this beautiful tiered habitat that came out insanely well. And we could actually see them fighting right over there. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. But yeah, just everything about this park, I'm so happy with how well it came out. It's so crazy that I actually finished the zoo in this game for once. But of course, one of the last things I do want to note is this section over here. Normally, you would often get the good vistas of the wolves. Let's just say hypothetically, this one is making its way right over here right now. I put a little bit of an enrichment marker right there so that it would make its way right over there. But they get this beautiful, like, kind of view at you, which is really fun to see. So it really does welcome you into this area, and it feels so powerful just to, like, come face to face with a natural wolf in its natural environment. I don't know, I like that stuff. But that is pretty much it for this entire zoo. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we actually made it this far and finished the zoo. I hope you guys are loving Tiergarten Wilhelmsdorf. It's always amazing to get more and more episodes of that done as time goes on. But I hope you guys enjoyed Sugar Pine Zoo for what it was. It was really awesome put together, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely do check it out on the workshop down below. Go take in as many pictures as you can, send them my way. I can't wait to see you guys explore this zoo for yourselves. But with that being said, we're gonna end it right there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you guys. I thought I stopped recording for a second. I just took a screenshot. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Ignore my audacities right there. Take care. Have the most wonderful day. Goodbye now.